you. This is a limited capacity tour and we will be stopping the line momentarily.
I'm here,
Well, they had a little bit of this.
And at this time, if your party has not crossed the O line, I'm going to ask you to stop behind the O line for me. Our tour has...
First, that we'll be able to see those overhead monitors just a bit more clearly. And second, well, that should keep you relatively dry throughout our performance. Now, if at any time you'd like to switch lanes, feel free to do so. But we do ask that you move all the way down to the end of one of the lanes where you can switch lanes safely, rather than climbing up through or over those metal bars. In addition, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you neither sit nor stand on those metal bars at any time during the show. Once again, that is for your own personal safety. Alrighty, well, it looks like we have just about everybody. Once again, good afternoon. My name is Jeremy. Down there at the end of the dock, you'll see my assistant, water tank. Now, water tanks just like this continue to play a major role in today's action films. Here are the explosive, out-of-control mayhem you've seen in movies like Crimson Tide, The Rock, and Pearl Harbor that be created using large-scale, physical, and mechanical effects. Now, the action is then filmed as a carefully planned sequence of events. Today, we're going to be filming our own action sequence called Harbor Attack, using many of the same effects that directors like Michael Bay use in their films. In fact, if you'll take a look at those overhead monitors now, here's Michael Bay himself to help set the scene for us.
In this scene, the patrol boat is on a surveillance mission, searching the skies for enemy aircraft. Crews caught off guard when the real danger surfaces from beneath the sea. This is going to require a full range of physical effects, split-second timing, careful direction. They have the lights, they have the cameras, all we need now.
And if anyone knows serious action, it's certainly Michael Bay. Now, some of the physical effects we'll add to our scene today include water tanks,
changed the whole thing.
pressurized up to 100 pounds per square inch, bullet hits, which must be programmed and timed to match the continuity of the visuals and eventually the pattern of the sound effects. And the last and probably the most important physical effect we'll add to our scene today is it takes a lot of work and time to reset the charges needed for those explosions. Now, of course, the number one consideration in the timing of all these physical effects, well, that's always for the safety of the actors on our set. And that brings us to you. Hi there, what's your name? Irv. Everybody say hi, Irv. Hi, Irv. Now, Irv, you've been tasked in the role of the mechanic on our PT boat. The action in your scene takes place down there in our engine room, so if you'll just follow my assistant, Mike, we'll get you in position. Alrighty, folks, now we're actually going to be filming two scenes today, but not in the order in which they appear in the script. Most of today's films are actually shot outdoors. Just as 800 gallons of water dump out of those tanks, fly down that chute, and slam into you like a freight train. Now, do you feel motivated to hang on? That's good. Because actually, folks, it's more like 1,000 gallons of water, but there's a fine line between motivation and fear. Okay, Irv, you ready to go? Now remember, you just lost your engines. Places, everybody. Roll playback, and action. Now, look to your right, and check out that engine. Now pick up your phone, and talk your tactics. Pick up the phone, Irv. Pick up the phone. And time. That's why we call that a physical effect. Let's have a great big round of applause for our fans. Excellent job. Now, sit there for just a few more minutes. In our next scene, try to feel motivated to act dry. Can you do that for me? Try to act dry. Yeah. Alrighty, folks, now we'll insert that shot into our next scene, and you'll see how it all ties together in our final sequence. Our next setup takes place on the deck of our PT boat, so let's meet the rest of our brave crew right now.
Okay, everybody gotta give a warm welcome to our Captain High and his brave deck crew, Lucia and Romero.
Could we have playback, please? Alright, now remember, crew, you're on a surveillance mission. And action. Captain, you hear a plane approaching, so you look to the skies. That's right, you find that plane. It's an enemy fighter coming in at 10 o'clock. Captain Crew, you're surprised. You're stunned. Mostly you're in big trouble because he's coming around for another run. Captain, that's right. Spin your wheel. Get that easy boat out there. Never mind, it's too late. They've shot out your engines. Get on your phone and call your mechanic. Now, Deck Crew, there's a torpedo off the starboard. That's your right. Alrighty, Captain, you can put down that phone. And at this point, you start to relax because you think it's all over. But just then, you hear more planes approaching, so you look up, point to the sky. There's an enemy bomber at 12 o'clock. Bombs away, everybody, hit the deck. Well, congratulations, crew. It looks like you survived the aerial attack. Now, just then, 2 more torpedoes come in fast off the stern. They pass underneath your boat, but they're headed to the audience. Point to the audience, tell them to look out. And cut. Let's have a great big round of applause for all our actors.
I didn't even get wet.
Still fun.
And that's a Well, folks, we'd like to thank you all for being a part of Harbor Attack here at our Special Effects Water Tank. Now, if you are traveling with one of our 4 volunteers, then you can turn to your left, walk all the way down that ramp into our rocker, and ask to be able to board your shuttle. So this
Dedicated moppers. They're really dedicated.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome to the Stadium's Backlot Tour. As you continue down the ramp, please make sure you have your entire party together. If you do the prop warehouse and do the latest prop warehouse, we'll set you up with a then assist you. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to have your party seated together, please step to the side and make sure you have your party together. Thank you.
Sorry! Shut up!
Peaceful. Monster Zoo. Talking at you. Miss your mom or something.
Look at me. Post crankiness.
Make sure I have the gloves.
Backlot tour.
About the shuttle, give me a great big wave in the air. Good. Now that I know that you can hear me, that means you can hear my words of caution. Those of you sitting on the right-hand side of the shuttle, which is your right-hand side, the side that you entered from, the side that I am sitting on, we might get a little bit wet over here today. However, before you go changing places, I think those of you on the left-hand side should know that that water does come in from the left-hand side, therefore you will be getting wet today. The left-hand side of the shuttle is the wetter side, so if you'd like to change places, John, I'm going to be your tour guide today, but I'm only one half the team. That's right behind me is our wonderful driver, and his name is Peter. Everybody say hi, Peter. All right, round of applause back here for you. All right, now I cannot think of a better way to start off our tour than with the landmark and symbol of the Disney MGM Studios, our award-winning Earful Tower high in the sky to the front left-hand side of the shuttle, beyond the topiary version of our tower. Now, our tower stands a lucky 13 stories tall and is capped off with a pair of Mickey Mouse ears. Each one of those ears weighs 5,000 pounds or 2.5 tons, and it is 28 feet in diameter, which then translates into a hat size of 342 3/8 feet. Yes, that's right, everybody. I did say hat size, and we know this because every holiday season, we top it off with the big red and white stocking cap. Now, the Disney MGM Studios is much more than just a theme park. We are high-tech working production studios featuring outdoor studios, We have just about everything you need for any type of production. However, right now, coming up on the right-hand side, get those cameras ready. We're going to see our first two props. The two prop planes from the Academy Award-winning Pearl Harbor, starring Ben Affleck, Josh Hartnett, and Cuba Gooding Jr. These planes were made in the P-40 mold out of fiberglass with a steel frame. Those propellers you see right there, they are made out of wood and they are powered by a hydraulic engine to give the illusion of taking off. These are just 2 of the 16 planes actually made for the film. And while it may have seemed like you saw a lot more than 16 planes in the movie, you did, but the others were just computer-generated images. Now as you come out of our U-turn here, on your left-hand side you're going to see these one-story beige buildings, and they are called bungalows. They provide the office space for production companies using our studios. This is where the producers, directors, and actors are going to take care of the day-to-day business of filmmaking. And if you look up high in the sky to your right-hand side, you're going to have your last eyeful of our Earful Tower. Isn't it a masterpiece? And this will be the closest and best view that you'll have for today. And in just a few moments, we're going to be heading indoors into the most glamorous portion of our tour, our creative costuming department. We're working on the team of seamsters and tailors. Now on your left-hand side, you're going to see several display cases with finished costumes now playing in theaters everywhere. A polka dot dress that was worn by Ashley Rose Orr in Child Star, the Shirley Temple story. Who can forget little Spencer Breslin from Disney's The Kid? And in the last display case, you're going to see costumes from the movie Snow Dogs, starring Cuba Gooding Jr. Now, our creative costuming department has over 250 skilled professionals that use up to 1.5 million yards of fabric to create over 25,000 costumes a year. Add that to filming, where we work on the Backlot effects and murals from Walt Disney World. Currently, we're working on 2 murals for our Star Tours attraction here at the Disney MGM Studios. The last room that's going to be coming up on your right-hand side is a pop storage area for our main scenic shop. And this is where we build and maintain the sets that we use out on location and on our sound stages. Currently, we're working on some prop pieces and murals for Figment's Journey to Imagination attraction, which is currently going on the renovation right now at Epcot Center. Now, one of the great things about movies is that they can take you to just about any bottom of the ocean. Right now, we're going to be heading into an area known as our Backlot, where we will take you to all those places, and the green tent over here on your left-hand side. Inside it houses our underwater special effects tank. And while it may look like an ordinary swimming pool, the bottom has actually been sculpted to look like the ocean floor, providing a much more safer and controllable environment than shooting out of location. It was originally built for Terry Hulk Hogan's Thunder in Paradise, and has overloaded Disney's My Favorite Martian. The next 2 vehicles are from the original Star Wars trilogy, starting off with a snow speeder from the movie The Empire Strikes Back, and a sand skiff from the movie The Return of the Jedi. The miniature cattle truck and Humvee are from the movie Mighty Joe Young, starring Charlize Theron, and director Steven Spielberg used these military vehicles for his movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, starring Harrison Ford and Sean Connery. Take a close look at the treads on the tank. You'll notice that they're made out of foam rubber instead of metal. Now that saves a lot of wear and tear in the actors as they thrown on top of them take after take, including Harrison Ford himself. Those 2 mining carts are from that famous chase scene in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And speaking of Doom, this large vehicle right here is Judge Doom's infamous Toontown Jetmobile from the Oscar award-winning Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The next 4 vehicles are also from that movie. Take a close look at the wheels on the orange trolley. You'll notice it's not a trolley at all, except it's just a modified city bus fitted with fiberglass covers over the wheels. And the 3 blue Plymouths are just 3 of 7 made to represent different stages of destruction throughout the movie. That green car is from the new movie Big Trouble, starring Tim Allen. The yellow helicopter was used in Ellen's Energy Adventure, which can now be seen at the Universe of Energy in Epcot. Blue cockpit from the movie Blue Thunder, starring Roy Scheider. And the 2 prop planes are from the movie The Rocketeer, which starred the recent Academy Award-winning Jennifer Connelly. The blonde black speedboat is from the short-lived series Disney presents The 100 Lots of Blackjack Savage. 2 training space shuttles are from the movie Starship Troopers, and the silver Podlake space shuttle on the end is Max from Flight of the Navigator. And if you look across our canal over there, you're going to have a great backside view of our homes on a residential street. And you will notice that many architectural details like siding and shingles have been left out just beyond the camera range. Now that is an old Hollywood trick that we usually like to call, well, saving money. And it looks like we've got the green light ahead of that large set I was telling you all about. Now, it's very important that everybody remains seated throughout the portion of the tour. The reason why I say that is because whenever the production crew wants to start shooting again, we have to pull the shuttle out of there in a hurry. And hold on, that structure cross. So we had to use a large crane to lift it up and place it where we're at today. Now, high above us is a large platform where production crews can set up their cameras and other equipment. Now, I saw that testing out this new rain effect a little bit earlier today, and it's lucky we might get a glimpse of it. Now, time is money on our studio backlot. We can change just about everything, including the weather. As you can see right there with our Hollywood rain effect. That is created by high-powered water spouts located just above the canyon wall. There are spouts on either side that shoot in a crisscross pattern to give it a little bit more natural effect. Now, to the two-dimensional eye of the camera, this whole canyon appears to be on the rainbow. Even though the rainbow is not like 15 feet. So with 50 guys production, guys, we'll get out of here just 1 second. So you guys, why we're taking? What to do, guys? I have a torch out here, guys. This isn't a stunt show. Cut the scene. This isn't funny, guys. Cut the scene. What I'm shooting. Oh, okay. I don't think you can hear me. Okay, see, let's come out. Stop. I don't know about you guys, but I think once is more than enough. All right, everybody, give yourselves a round of applause. You just survived the Catastrophe Canyon. Now, in just a few moments, we're going to be taking you around the backside of our canyon to show you how we created these catastrophes. Now, from the canyons of Southern California to the streets of New York City, we're going to have you back across country in record time. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. You also have to pass by these bushes over here. Look up to your right-hand side. You're going to see the N234 Mickey Mouse. Well, because that was Walt Disney's personal airplane that he used to scout Central Florida Air Project, now as Walt Disney World and the Walt Disney World Resorts. If you have any more interest in Walt Disney and his life, I encourage you to check out the one-man stream attraction located here at the Disney MGM Studios out on Mickey Avenue. Now, as we come out of our turn here, if you look up to the front, right-hand side of the show, hold up our facades on New York Street. And yes, all the buildings on New York Street, like everything else in our back, can withstand hurricane force winds up to 100 miles per hour. It's pretty impressive considering there's not a real brick located inside any of them. Walk up to one and knock on it, you'll notice it's very hollow inside. It's just a lot of styrofoam and fiberglass and a little bit of closed concrete texture. Here comes that photo opportunity, everybody. So if you look through our Washington Square archway, you're going to have a great view of our New York City skyline. Now that is an effect called forced perspective. Where down at the end of the street looks like actual buildings there just painted flat. And where the real Empire State Building stands over 100 stories tall, ours is just a little bit over 4. And then also the food showcase. Right now the current exhibit is Dress the Thrill, basketball related films. Where you're going to capture more about the leading ladies of the golden era. Such as Catherine Pepper, Vivian Leigh, Garland, and many, many more. So let's shut it up to the stop. I'll be open to the board.